and welcome back to my channel. So today reading is going to be about messages from Pluto. So Pluto is associated with the Roman god Pluto, who ruled the underworld. And in spirituality, this planet represents transformation, i.e. birth and death cycles. So this reading is going to be inspired by Pluto. I also was inspired by the song called Pluto by Melanie Martinez. The singer Melanie Martinez, her song Pluto inspired for me for this reading. I really like the lyrics. It really represents Pluto really well. So if you would like, you can check out the song as well. So this reading, we're gonna be finding out how you're transforming basically, and messages from Pluto, the underworld. Hopefully this reading can aid you in your transformation and or guide you and give you support so you can reach personal freedom from any confining mindsets or any controlling aspects of life that's not supposed to be there anymore. Anyway, this card is from the Zodiac Oracle. I really like the depiction of Pluto here, how he's very stoic and cold. It's number 22. The illustration of Pluto in this oracle, it somewhat show him in an icy kind of state. Okay, so we have 4 groups to pick from, and from each tarot deck I'm gonna show the deck card. So group 1 with the Malachite, we have the Liber Tarot. I don't know, I'm not sure about the pronunciation. It's by Roberto Negrini, artwork by Andre Serio. So the deck card for this deck is this one. The second deck is accompanied by cistrine. So the deck card is this one. The third pie is accompanied by Hematite. This Wild Unknown by Klimt Tarot. And the dead card that represents Pluto is this one. The fourth pie is accompanied by green garnet, and it is the Golden Tarot by Gustav Klimt, and the dead card is this one. So please pick your pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and see you in your pile. Welcome pile 1. For those who pick pile 1, so you pick the Malachite with the Liber Tarot. So let's see what messages Pluto has for you, or how you transform it how are you transforming? So right now your current energy is represented by the Lion. And your tarot card for your current energy is Five of Cups. And you are transforming into the Fish. And your tarot card is Six of Cups. Your current energy is represented by the Lion, which it is a great energy to be in. You might be someone who is very regal, patient, or like very stoic right now. Your priority right now might be your career. You just seem like your life is, in the material sense, it's going great. Maybe your career is doing very well. But the Lion does look sad to me. According to the booklet, it said that the Lion is a living mascot of self-transformation, which is very on theme on this reading. But it's clarified by the Five of Cups. So what I see for your current energy right now is that you might be disappointed by a close friendship or a close relationship, or you just had to let go or end a very important relationship in your life just because you know that it has to end. Seems like you taking this ending. It might not have to be a relationship. It can be a job, a career path, or a place of living, but you have to leave it behind because the Five of Cups talk about grief, leaving something you really, really care about. But you made that decision with a very stern and practical assessment, because you know that even though it was hard to leave it behind, it would be harder and wrong to stay, because the situation that you have to leave behind might be something that has given you a lot of grief and hurt. It might be a betrayal, someone you thought that cared more for you, but actually didn't. It does hurt you, but you don't seem surprised by this at all. You seem you're taking it very well though, but of course, grief is grief. Everyone processes grief differently. But somehow you process it like the king of the jungle. Jungle, say, like a lion. And shift your focus somewhere else instead. Another synchronicity for this pie is that this Five of Cups represent the Mars in Scorpio. And Scorpio is a sign that rules Pluto, or transformation. It's also the sign that rules the Death card for. It's very on theme for this reading. So that's a great synchronicity. But Mars in Scorpio represent a transformation that has to be activated, or a type of action that you have to take for that transformation to occur. For example, you did, actively in something, walk away from a situation, a job, a relationship. Is something that has been bothering you, giving you conflicting energy and dissatisfaction and frustration for so long. Even though it's not a fun thing to do, but you know you made the right decision. And even if while you were trying, even if it was very hard for you to step away from this conflicting energy, and the people that were involved in this previous energy, it's giving you a hard time, or like they might be giving out for you for trying to gaslight, not really gaslight, try to, you know, convince you that you make a mistake walking away, or why did you abandon us, or I don't know. They are not happy that you are walking away anyway. But I just want to confirm that was the right decision, because as long as you are in this past situation, it will never bring you peace, I think. It will only bring you grief, the Five of Cups. And if you didn't make this active action or active choice yet, but you've been thinking about it, a situation that's not giving you any peace, but rather give you too much conflicting energy, if you haven't actively walked away but been thinking, Pluto message for you is that yes, that is the right decision. It will lead you to, of course, at that moment, which represents transformation. It is a hard part, but with that decision, it will ultimately leads you to a rebirth. So I just look up what Mars in Scorpio mean. They say that Mars in Scorpio's energy are very powerful, passionate, and persistent. Maybe it took you a lot of energy to walk away from this situation to pursue something else. But it also said that what they want, they usually end up getting due to Mars' fiery and aggressive nature. Yes. Maybe you literally have to fight to get out of this situation. The fight might be physical, hopefully not, but metaphorical. Maybe a court battle. Yeah, but it did took a lot of energy, and you're just over it. You're just over it by this point. And after you made the decision to come out of this situation, because Scorpio represent that whatever goal they pursue, they have an intense dedication and determination. They will achieve almost anything they set their minds to. Yes, you will definitely walk out of this situation, and with time you will leave it behind. So this reading was inspired by the song Pluto by Melanie Martinez. So this whole past situation reminds me of lyrics in that particular song, where she sang, "Some other friends that I thought were forever and now wanna sever the ties. The seeds have been spotted. I'm no longer doubting. I think that it's finally time." So that's the energy the songs remind me of. Yes, and it can be hard for you because you might have to walk away from very relationship that you known since childhood, or a close friend, a close family member, but they just don't give you that reciprocated unconditional love energy anymore. And yes, I think it's finally time, and you know that, so well done. Okay, and in time with Pluto, you are transforming into from a lion to a fish. And the clarifying card is the Six of Cups, which is very on theme. You went from the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups, which are more instantly more harmonious. And Six of Cups represent the Sun in Scorpio, and it represents peace, harmony, reciprocity, reciprocal energy, yeah. It will represent a type of fulfillment from walking away from the past situation. You starting to realize what type of love or relationship or job you kind of don't want, and it will naturally help you come into contact with or realization of what you actually want. What type of love you want, what type of job you want, what type of friendship you want, because you already went through the thing that you know you don't want and don't deserve. You will eventually know. You kind of went from, oh, I don't know what love is, but this situation in the past wasn't it too. I finally know what love is. And it's because you cut out all those unnecessary, undeserving energy that make you more receptive and open to a more harmonious energy in your life. Definitely more peace. With the fish is from this stoic lion, which show a bit of a bossiness or like a controlling, dominant energy where if I don't do it, no one will kind of energy, which it might be right in your past situation because they don't, do the end of their work or whatever. But with the fish, you're more relaxed. I think you work through a lot of controlling aspect of your life. You might have to let go a lot and release a lot of controlling issues. For example, you might be the type of person who, have to make up a list of what you're gonna do every day and you're gonna fulfill those lists. But now you're just gonna go with the flow. No list, and just do whatever you feel like at the moment because you trust yourself more. Because there's no those noisy energies or like conflicting energy. So it's easier for you to listen to your own instinct, your own heart, and swim with the flowing river. It seems like you're swimming in this beautiful pond. The fish. You might be more creative. In the past, you might have a hard time creating or channeling a creative energy because of the constricting and restricting aspect of your past situation. But now you might get more ideas, or like, if you love drawings or any type of creative pursuit, you might actually actively go towards that. Instead, if it was a career that you have to leave behind, so if you have to leave a job, you actively have to send your letter of resignation. So now you are gonna choose a different career path instead. That's more creatively and what you actually want to do. that's not conflicting your heart to your heart. So with the fish energy, it is a creative energy, but it's also very mutable, like go with the flow, no solid ground. So you might doubt yourself and be a little bit lost during this time, like what am I doing? Why did I leave that job? Now I'm just, it reminds me of freelancer, but it is very important part of your transformation, because you will learn a lot about yourself and what you like and you don't like. When you come out of the conventional means, has it like a conventional job, the 9 to 5, or a conventional aspect of life in the past, you're gonna be in this new vast ocean, new possibilities open up, new door, new path, new choices that you don't know were available to you before. You're gonna definitely feel overwhelmed. So, but it's part of the process as well, because it will help you to try a lot of different things. Maybe if you are a creative being, you might try not just traditionally painting, but you can now have time to do digital and even to do other different medium like pottery. And if you want to feel more grounded during this time, you can set yourself a small goal and complete and accomplish it. Like I would paint one painting, something like that, so to help with the groundedness of the situation. But don't be afraid to try new things, or do something unconventional, per se. Like, for example, you don't usually date this type of person, something like, if it's safe anyway. Okay, so let's get you an advice and guidance on how you can navigate this transition better. Your advice is number 11. Look to your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. So yes, your advice is that believe in yourself, believe in your choices. You know deep down that your choice did lead you to more peaceful times, yes. And that it is a choice that you made of a state of a self-empowerment, definitely. So during those times where you doubt, you can reassure yourself and believe yourself that you make the right choice. Because being stressed or afraid is not a natural way of living. It also advises you to create some type of boundaries or disconnect from whatever it is that creating you stress, giving you stress, and take back your personal power. You definitely have more knowledge than you realize and more inner strength, because to cut tie or make that choice, leave the past, required a lot of inner strength and self-belief. So remind yourself that you do have those traits, and those doubtful thoughts that come to you at night or whisper to you are just own fears and own patterns. You can kindly ask them, those thoughts, to be quiet. Journaling might help, or expressing those doubts or those lost moments, or those times when you feel small and when you feel confused. You can actually transmute it and express it to a creative project. For example, like the song that I was mentioning, Pluto by Melanie Martinez. In those songs, she was expressing how her life doesn't bring her satisfaction anymore, or she wants to move on, something like that. Or listening to empowering song exactly like that can help you cultivate your inner strength. Or if you're a poet, you can write poem about your doubts or I think to talk about those fear and insecurity or write about it will give you more clarity, because then you will realize that, oh, those doubts are just normal. It's all part of the process. I'm doing fine. And if you need help, you can also ask for help from someone you trust, because you are always supported. You can ask, if you don't have people who you can't trust, you can ask your spirit team as well, because remember, Pi 1, you are always loved, supported, and any guidance you required and are willing to receive, you can ask for them as well. Okay, that's it for Pi 1. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. So welcome Pi 2 for those who picked the Edmund Dulac Tarot with the citrine. And the card that you get, these would represent your current energy. And you get the black egg, clarified by 7 of Swords. And you are transforming into the bee, and clarified by Temperance. So the card that represents your current energy is the black egg, which is the spirit card in the animal spirit deck. And this particular card represents the 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra. In your current energy, you might going through a time where you are very concerned with finding out the truth. Actually, I want to read out the guidebook because it really sums up the energy very well. So the black egg, speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it reside no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sound draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draw us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat story to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. So that is very powerful energy you are in right now, Pi 2, or about to be in. Because you are seeking your own truth, you starting to hear the voices. Your inner voice is becoming very much stronger every day, and you start to question everything you maybe think about yourself, what you have always known, what is true for you, your belief system, the way society operates. You might be in a state of contemplation a lot. You might spend a lot of your time by yourself, writing, listening, reading, to find out the truth. Because it seems like you can't accept others' truth or what others are saying about you, who you are, what to do. Their advices, it might come from a loving place, but you have this strong urge to seek something of your own. You might be starting questioning, am I really this type of person? Do I really think like this? Is that what I want? All these questions are coming up to rid of anything that's not true to you, that are not your inner voice. For the Seven of Swords, this card talks about doing the right thing, not fearing trickery, and staying on your path. Yes, maybe you're in a state of your life where you cannot continue to pretend anymore. As in, you find things a bit superficial. You find conversation a bit shallow, superficial. And the conventional way how people operate, you find it very fake per se. And even the relationship or situation or job you hold right now, you might be starting to question, is it really what I want? Would this fulfill me? Or people you are hanging out, the conversation they're having, you might start to observe and listen and think that, are they really saying that because that's what they believe? Or are they just saying that just to say that? You might start be questioning or saying things that you wouldn't normally say. Speak up, say your opinions more. You might starting to be talk more or reflect more or say what you really want to say more. If you're not doing that, Pluto wants you to encourage you to do that more, because in the sphere of talking, writing, reading, or even song or singing will help you and aid you in this transformation. For example, if there's a situation where something is not right or there are unfairness and everyone else seems to be staying quiet, not saying anything, when there was clearly a mistreatment, this is an example, it can apply to any situation where a truth is suppressed and you might feel uncomfortable to stay silent, but you know that it's not your place to say anything. But also, it's easier to stay quiet because speaking up will always come with an oppressing, or it would always come with the chaos. But are you truly peaceful by staying quiet? There must be something that you really truly been thinking about. I want to express it to someone or something. Pluto is encouraging you to go for it. And you want to express this truth not because of any ego-based reason, but because you know it is the right thing to do. It might be hard. It might be like a confession of something you did that you felt guilty about, but it's the truth. You did something you felt guilty about, so it should be expressed. Or it might be a simple confession of your feelings to someone you really want to, express those for so long. Or it might be like, maybe where you work, co-workers are gossiping about a person, and all this time you just been staying quiet, not saying anything, just let it slide. But now, as time go by, you feel like it's uncomfortable to hear those anymore, even if you're not participating in it. Are you truly? Okay with staying silent? So you might start to feel these urges to say things that has to be said, not because you want attention or not because you think you're righteous or anything. It's just because you are expressing your inner truth. Just like the guidebook said, you might be drawn to reading, writing, and the fifth chakra is very important and essential for those who are writers, editors, musicians, or workers. So if you are any of those, if you are doing any of those, like writer, editors, musician, maybe you find that you cannot hold back writing your truth anymore. If you are writers before you might just write about conventional things, you try to make it less personal and more detached. But now I think you're starting to want to write more of your opinion and your truth into it. And cut out all those illusion or deceptions or any words like flatteries, like anything that's not authentic. So same goes for musicians. So if you were just writing song or doing song that were trending or it would please the audience, but now you feel like you want to write something that's out of your own experience, something that you were afraid to share. But I think you're ready now. For example, for me, in my truth, I like writing and I want to write, but for the longest time I just want to keep things to myself, my previous experiences. But now I feel like it's actually more healing and fulfilling to write about those, my personal journey, my previous experiences. Like for example, it could be that you are in a very painful relationship or job situation. So now you want to talk about it, or you might want to write about it in your book of how those situation has affected you. Or you actually might want to say it to the person itself. It will really help in those transformation. But yeah, That is what your current energy is. And in time, you are transforming into this bee. So keeping those true to you might make you a bit, closed out with all these black colors around the egg. And now sharing it in whichever means bring back colors and vitality to your life. And the bee, what comes to mind is it's a worker. So if you are thinking about writing a song about your previous experience or writing a book, you will start working on it with enthusiasm and, hard work. Or that your truth was all along you wanted to be, for example, a YouTuber, but everyone else expect you to do a conventional 9-to-5 job or something conventional that's stable and secure. But that's not your truth. Your truth is you want to do something creative, something unconventional. And by expressing that to those around you, or even to yourself, by admitting that truth, you're gonna start to feel more light, like a bee, feel like you can fly. And you'll be able to see the necessary tangible step to those, goals that you want to do. And in this previous part, you might thought that it was the right thing for you to do the 9-to-5 because that's what people are telling you to do. That's what help others. That's what the right thing to do. But now you starting to question, is that really right for me? It might be right for, the family and everything, but is that right for me? But when you are starting to become more honest of what you need and your inner truth, you will become more happier, definitely. This transformation will bring you more peace and joyful time, and a lot of creative projects that are waiting for you to. But also, with temperance clarifying this bees, you are transforming into someone who know the right balance. As in before, you might just think about work or focus too much on one thing, like work. Now with temperance and the bee, you're realizing that life is more fun if you are actually true to your desire as well. Like you might want to play, go on a mini vacation in a sense that will make your life more productive per se. And with the example, if you get rid of this deceptive energy, as in, for example, you want to be a YouTuber instead of working 9-to-5. With that change, you will take the necessary step and also the responsibility and perseverance and work diligently to achieve that new goal that's more aligned with your authentic truth. And how this card is very blue, which is the color of the throat chakra. So if you were wanting to pursue writing or, and having been telling yourself, no, I'm not a good writer, that is not for me. Starting questioning, are you sure that I'm not a good writer? How do you know? Because I never tried to write before. How do you know it's for me or not for me? Might as well try it. With that mindset, apply it to anything. you're gonna start slowly working toward those truth of yours, learning how to write or speaking up in a crowd, or in that example of a gossiping place. Even though you know that this path you choose comes with a certain type of responsibilities and perseverance, it does come with balancing a type of energy in both, like respecting my own truth but others people's truth as well. It's a very meticulous energy that needs a lot of diligence to be able to balance. Like this woman, she needs a lot of balance to carry down this heavy load of water without tripping or falling over. So it's kind of intricate per se. Like for example, if you are a writer, you would be like, what to write? It's kind of tedious to, go through all the writing, researching, and also editing of the writing to make it make sense, to and also to watch, not for you to overwork, to get your rest, to balance, and also not to listen to other people's opinion too much, like, oh, you should write this, you should write like that. People are more interested in this kind of topic when you actually want to write about another. It's very complicated per se, but I think you're up for it because you're a hard and diligent worker in all aspects. Okay, pie 2, let's get you an advice. So your advice is choose love. You always have choice. Makes yours with love. So what your advice is for you to, again, that responsibility come to mind. It's actually your responsibility to choose to see and focus on love. So you might want to blame other people for giving you the wrong advice, or the environment you were growing up in. For example, oh, I want to be a writer, but my parents never support me on my path, so it's their fault that I never pursue it in the first place. Something like that. But remember that everyone has a choice. This card talk about regardless of what has or will go on in your life, you always have a choice. It is not easy to choose love, but that is your advice. As in, the situation surround you, the one you're in now with the 7 of Swords, a lot of people might be trying to stop you from pursuing this path or speaking out the truth, or that example in which about the coworker gossiping, you might speak up and they might be like villainize you for, they might be saying that, oh, I'm just giving my opinion, why are you so negative? They might turn it around and calling you the one who's like, blaming you instead for speaking up the truth, or try to paint you the bad guy just because you can think for yourself, basically, instead of following the crowd. But it is your responsibility to choose love, in terms of you're always in control of how you feel. You will say to yourself, yes, at least I speak up, because that's a loving way, a loving choice, rather than conform to what everyone else is doing or talking about. If you were pursuing writing, for example, at least, you choose love, and at least, yes, it might be popular to write about another topic, but if I have to choose love or what I love, I would do, the topic that is less popular You might thank them for their opinion, but you would understand that at least every choice that you make, you choose it. You choose yours with love. Would they be able to say the same? The people that are, giving you a hard time, would they be able to say the same, that their choice was made out of love? So yeah, that's it for pie 2. Thank you so much. See you next time. Okay, welcome pie 3 for those who pick Hematite with the Why Unknown Tarot. Let's see how you're transforming and what messages does Pluto have for you. So for your card, your current energy is the Elephant, clarified by your Tarot, which is the Strength. And you are transforming into the Black Egg. And the Two of Cups. Your current energy is the Elephant. You are in a very powerful realization, or I want to say empowered kind of energy right now, where maybe recently you just acquired some type of wisdom, or something just clicked for you in terms of your own life, your own situation. Because the Elephant is very wise, and in this card it talks about how it illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. You might acquire some type of self-knowledge to just simply watching stuff, or realization, like an epiphany kind of, where a flash of insight of your life purpose, maybe a type of truth that you didn't know you needed. That's your current energy. When in balance, this energy is one-pointed focus, generous and loving. But if it's out of balance, it might misunderstand faith. So an example comes to mind with this energy. That you realize something. For example, you might realize that you even love someone, perhaps. I don't know why I get this example, but it's an epiphany of, wait a minute, I love that person. The Strength clarified shows me that somehow you master your emotions, where before you might have been in frustration or in agony of, why do I feel like this about that person? Or why can I, or a classic example of, you don't want to fall for a certain type of person, or you don't want to fall in love in general, because it's the most scariest thing you ever want to do, to be in the mercies of your own emotion or someone else's. But this doesn't have to be a person applied to your situation. But you finally, got that inner strength to say, yes, I do love that person. Or it could be an opposite, where, yes, I don't love that person. It's a wisdom that you yourself cultivated. Probably by being honest with your emotions and not holding back anymore. So continue on with the example of or realizing yes, you do love that person, or yes, you do want to pursue a path or move to a place. It makes you come into your power. Why you have the courage to actually admit to yourself the ever terrifying truth. It's not terrifying in terms of it's bad, but in terms of that it will change everything for you. For example, if you realize you love that person, you might be like, now I have to, stop resisting the feeling you have for them and start more focusing on what tangible way would I be able to pursue this person, this relationship, this goal, this career path. It's the next step in realizing your truth. Doesn't matter where this path leads you. In this current energy, you are on the right path. You are heading into a direction that will bring you closer to your truth. That's what the black egg represents. You are very unstoppable in this current energy as you learn that as you hone that inner strength, you may realize that how, for example, with the wisdom of loving someone or true love, it takes courage to become vulnerable, to confess, to say your truth, to even express any type of feelings. Because society or in this world, it makes it very hard and very hurtful for people to let down their guard, or it's understandable why people don't easily express their love or their truth or admit to themselves certain emotion that they've been holding back, because it does and it did and it will sometimes leads to disappointment and hurt and betrayal even. But it's a type of a betrayal itself if you deny those feelings in the first place. You're very self-empowered right now because you're done denying those emotions or done villainizing or demonizing those strong emotions you had for someone or something. You realize that your emotion is not your weakness. It is actually what makes you stronger. That scene come to mind from the X-Men, The Rise of the Phoenix. Maybe I can insert it there.
Your emotions make you weak. You're wrong. My emotions make me strong.
That's what it reminds me of. And it did took a lot for, the character Jean Grey to realize that about herself, that her emotion doesn't make her weak. It actually makes her the most powerful person on this planet. You will slowly go toward this transformation. Of course, it's not easy, as Strength does talk about conquering a very, powerful emotion. It can be either, well, love is a very powerful emotion. It's untamable. It's unreasonable. You don't know who you're gonna love. You don't choose who you love. You just fall in love with that person. It's uncontrollable. But you are transforming into the black egg. As you walk in your own truth more and more, you will speak it, live it, and even might, share it through, it can be through any creative mean, as in to posts, to writing, to songwriting, spreading out your truth. Or in specific example, you might actually confess your love to that person that you realize you had feeling for them all along. And it doesn't matter the outcome, even if the person you've confessed to didn't feel the same way. One thing you know, that at least you reciprocated your own emotion, that you actually admit to yourself that you do love them without any expectations. By confessing to them alone, you reciprocated your emotion. You're not repressing it. And in that way, it shows that you unconditionally love them and yourself. And of course, this liberates you. It's such a beautiful energy to transform into. And this strong emotion that you have to deal right now with a lot of strength and wisdom, it will turn into this very light, harmonious, joyful energy. And because you go through all this, hard assessment or admitting your feelings and not suppressing, you're starting to see all around you the reciprocal energy of the universe. Everywhere you go, you feel like, I'm supposed to be here. Or you feel more in tune, of course, because, you don't suppress your emotion. It will be easier for you to express your truth, your authentic self. With this transformation, you will become more accepting of your own truth. And in a way, you might starting to love those truths instead of pushing them away. Because it will make you more happy and free and liberated. It's a type of freedom that you've been seeking all along. And in this life that you live, literally the truth sets you free. So let's get you an advice, pie tree. So your advice, pie tree, is simple acts of kindness. Kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you. Yes, so your advice is that have more kindness and compassionate, especially to yourself. But being kind to others as well will help you transform into this Two of Cups energy faster. Because in the guidebook, it said that as you give, so you will receive. Reciprocal energy. Small act of kindness can be, in the book, it suggests opening a door, holding the elevator, or smiling at someone or giving a compliment. That is your advice. And as you do those simple acts of kindness, you will naturally transform into this energy. Because kindness is contagious and can have a lasting impact. And this is how you know your truth, or embody your truth, which to bring more love into the world. If it's anyone would resonate with that example where you realize you love that person, this is a specific example, or you love that place or whatever, the advice could be that you actually, they encourage you to be more kind to that person or help them, like might offer them, to carry stuff, or offer them to buy them a cup of coffee, or be especially kind to the one that you love, and you will start to realize that, oh, the energy is reciprocal, something like that anyway, if you resonate with that example. But anyway, that is your advice, Pi 3. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Welcome, Pi 4. For those who picked the green garnet, let's see what messages Pluto has for you, or how you're transforming. So your current energy is represented by the dolphin, and your tarot card you got. So you got the 5 of Pentacles. I have to cover up her because she's naked, so cover up her breasts with this card. And the energy you are transforming into is the elk. Your tarot card is the Knight of Swords. So for your current energy, you are represented by this dolphin card, which talks about lightheartedness. In this phase of your life, or your current energy right now, you might be feeling lighter, more joyous, joyful, and more creative. And you just want to take the, positive thing in life and focus on the joyful things, not so much the heavy. You just want to have fun, enjoy life, enjoy your creative pursuits, not thinking too seriously or taking anything too hard. This is a very nice, easy and breezy energy to embody right now. But the clarification is the 5 of Pentacles. Even though you are trying to be, trying to focus on the positive, focusing on the blessing, you're not completely ignoring this lack mindset or some minor difficulties in the background. For example, even though you are going through a financial hardship, because you might be unemployed or you might have a conflict at home, but rather focusing on that, you're more focusing on the positive things in life and trying to extract what is the lesson or the blessing they are teaching you through these difficult times. Maybe with the 5 of Pentacles, it can indicate in this phase of your life you are lacking something, maybe lacking support in some way, or some material or financial support. For example, if you want to pursue creative pursuit, or going back to college to study arts, or those unconventional, or something you're quite passionate about, you might be entertaining yourself and thinking, I might do it for fun. I might take a pottery class just for fun. Thinking of it lightly, not taking it too seriously. You're definitely focusing on the lighter things in life right now. And this might show in terms of you might go out with friends, cheering people up, bring optimistic viewpoint to every conversation you enter. A friend might be going through a hard time and you'll be like, it's temporary, it will pass. You're definitely the optimistic and positive voice. A little bit idealistic, but that's a good thing in this point. Somehow, even the lack of this Five of Pentacles that represent, it could be anything, financial trouble, lack of support, or lack of resources. You still see your life as in it's full of colors, full of possibility, or you still not really submitted to that lack mindset. You still dream of a bigger future where you will acquire those resources, or you will pursue those dreams. Kind of very optimistic and dreamy energy. You might feel called to joke a lot or laugh a lot with friends, enjoy life, take it day by day, nothing serious. Even if there is some conflict going on in the background or hard time going on at the background, you are not urged to solve it or even look for a solution at all. You just know that somehow you'll be okay. That's why you can keep this light outlook or mindset, which is easier said than done. And you are transforming into the elk. So it's a earth element. The energy shifted for more lighthearted. As in, seem like there's no responsibility, or like your life is not as, it seems to be you shifted from a kid, if I have to compare the energy, into like a father energy. Definitely a sign of maturation. So with the elk energy, it seemed like those days where you were dreaming of pursuing something or doing something, our pure lightheartedness, somehow it turned into a very serious and committed situation. It is a good transformation for you. For example, it could be like, you didn't have a girlfriends or boyfriends, and you were just try to date lightly, or like just looking without any expectation, and suddenly you found someone and you are willing and more than happy to commit to them. That's how it feels. It doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't have to be a girlfriend or boyfriend. It could be a career path, a job, a life situation, or a country even. So you transform into this elk where you're more stable. You learn the importance of responsibility through this transformation. You definitely become more stable and realistic as well. This also confirms a success or victory in something. For example, if you were dreaming of pursuing an art, going back to college or studying art or something, this shows that you will be pursuing those dreams, and you will definitely pursue it with enthusiasm. It's encouragement and confirmation to go for it, because you will come out victory. If you don't know what this commitment is, you will find it, because throughout your transformation will involve you finally finding your purpose or something you're serious about to pursue, whether it be a person, a job, a career path, whatever it is. You will take it, you will find that you're very interested in it, in this topic or in this person, and you will take upon yourself to seriously pursue it. For example, if it's a career path, somehow you will become committed to it, and you want to study about it. I see someone who's pursuing something seriously, realistically, reading up, doing research, and making a lot of progress actually, and become even an expert in it. Again, for example, if you want to pursue some something like pottery, you will, go to a class and starting to learn about it, learn the basic, and day by day continue to work on your pottery skills until you become one of the best in that field, whatever field it is that you decided to go for. And something that you started out by like a hobby or enjoying turned out to be something you take it seriously, and seem like you're very good. You will be developing the necessary skills, you will put in more effort, and you definitely have talent for this particular field that you're considering of entering. And this will help and aid you in your situation, whether back then you lack something. By this transformation of you acquiring a skill, if you lack a job, with you acquiring this new skill, you will have more opportunity to, get employed by one of the most prestigious company or anything like that. Or if you are passionate about traveling perhaps, and you do all the necessary research and or readings or watching YouTube videos to learn more about traveling, it will help you acquire the skills to also work in that field if that's what you want. But definitely you make quite a leap and a progress, because you become the knight on his way or her way into a king or queen. You're definitely very talented anyways. You also might transform into someone who's by living this dolphin experience of lightheartedness, go with the flow day by day, enjoying life, you gain a lot of wisdom and perspective that you might turn into someone who give very good advice or understand the changes of the energy of being lightheartedness and being realistic. Both are equally relevant to be in, and I think it's kind of biased if you value one or the other more, because depending on the person, the energy is very relevant or very needed at the time. So for being a lighter energy to a more realistic energy, yes, you are definitely acquire a goal or a type of achievement you're going after, and you will work hard. It can be, it does feel like a conventional job, maybe something to do with research, writing, or even law. It could be like a attorney, law, writing, something you once took lightly anyway, but it's a great and smooth transition, and it's a natural part of life to come from this energy to this. So you are definitely heading in the right direction. Okay, let's get your advice, pile 4. So pile 4, your advice is practice compassion, see things from a fresh perspective. The advice here is to it's good to remain positive, but it's not to take it too far where it becomes toxic positivity, where you can't see that if someone was feeling sad or depressed, it can be kind of hard for them to be happy. So instead of forcing them to like, oh come on, why are you sad, you should be happy, something like that, you were encouraged to or advised to have more compassionate and see things from their viewpoint as why they might feel that way, instead of forcing for them to look at the positive side. But all in all, for you, I get that to also have a compassion for yourself. You might underestimate your power sometimes you might be too hard on yourself, or it could be that other hard on you or don't really take you seriously because you have this lightheartedness persona, and they might underestimate you. But don't mistake in that, because you shouldn't underestimate yourself. You have make an impact to the world and those around you more than you realize. It's because of your compassion as well that you've been giving for people around you. I can see that, of course, they are grateful, but they might not voice it, and that can make you quite sad sometimes. But that doesn't mean that you should underestimate yourself. Instead, you should find more like-minded spirits who appreciate your joyful and cheerful character, instead of condescendingly telling you why you're always happy. Or sometimes people can be mean and they can't see the colorful, magical things in life, and they might feel jealous or envy of those who do, and you might be a way where they release those frustration. Just because you're kind and have compassion doesn't mean you should take those negative feedback at all. So anyone who tend to make judgment on your characters is not someone you should take lightly or keep in your circle. Instead, Pluto are encourage you to find like-minded spirits, people who love what you love the same type of hobbies, or have the same type of positive outlook, who can see that your joyful and light spirit is a gift and advantage to their lives, instead of something that they want to suppress. But yeah, not to have resentment, not to hold resentment or any grudges against those people because they do have their own thing going on. But generally, the compassion that you should extend the most is toward yourself, especially if you're going through something bad or conflicting in the background, like I said before, a financial situation or a conflicting argument within your family, and you feel like there's a pressure for you to stay upbeat and joyful and happy, or there's pressure for you to see the positive side. Pluto is encouraged you to have more compassion for yourself, and that you don't have to force this happiness. You can acknowledge that you do lack something, and it's okay because it is something that you will in time cultivate. It's not an end-all be-all per se. Or that you don't have to keep this happy persona all the time, because everyone in life does experience hardship. Definitely, so that compassion should extend to yourself the most. To take it easy. Because there's definitely more than one perspective in life. And you can take whatever perspective that give you the most compassion to yourself anyway. Okay, that's it, Pie 4. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time.